won $188 million in the lotto. But then her pastor did the least righteous thing. Winning the lottery is a dream come true for most. For a struggling mother in Charlotte, North Carolina, her chances of winning a jackpot was 1 in 175 million. However, for Marie Holmes, she was that someone to hit it big. In Charlotte, North Carolina, Kevin Matthews worked as a pastor. In fact, Marie Holmes attended his church frequently. She even sought his religious guidance and advice throughout the trials and tribulations of her life. Kevin Matthews was dedicated to helping all his church members and even called himself a warrior of Christ. He planned to do great things for his church, and those that attended included his close personal friend, Marie Holmes. Nothing wrong with that, right? Although Marie Holmes considered herself very religious, she was also a single mother with little financial support. She decided to purchase a lottery ticket one day at the local convenience store in her hometown of Charlotte. Well, she should also consider herself very lucky, because in February of 2015, Marie Holmes won the $188 million Powerball jackpot. She could only imagine how the winnings would change her life. Marie Holmes, as you can imagine, was shocked when she discovered she won the jackpot. As the winner, she had a maximum of 180 days to claim her prize. Marie Holmes had to decide if she was going to receive installments of her $188 million over a period of 30 years or take the one-time lump sum of $127 million. Like many of us, she chose the latter and collected her cash immediately. Even though it seemed like all of her prayers had been answered, she was feeling overwhelmed with so much money. After living in poverty, Marie Holmes became a new money millionaire. She wore a nice white suit when she claimed her prize. After smiling for the cameras, she revealed that, "I thought I was going to have a heart attack when I saw the ticket and checked it." Was Marie Holmes ready for her blessings? What sounds like a dream come true was only a nightmare in disguise, as the problems started from there. Just as most lotto winners do, Marie Holmes swore up and down that the money would not change her. Her uncle even said, "Marie's very grounded, and she'll know what to do with all that money." People figured she'd buy a house and donate some to her church. But what was her real plan of action? "Everything is all for them," said the single mom. Marie Holmes continued, "All the struggle that I ever went through is all for them. I want them to understand that money doesn't change you, but it can help you. So they don't have to worry about debt, none of that. They can go to college all on me." When talking about the struggle, Marie Holmes was not only referring to financial problems. Apparently, her father had been in and out of prison, but the loving mother promised to put her children's interests first. Besides her taking care of her 4 children, Marie Holmes did plan to make a large donation to her local church. After all, her pastor, Kevin Matthews, was a close friend who was always there for her through hard times. He gave her advice and counseled her without wanting anything in return, which is the way a devoted pastor is supposed to be, right? Well, why do we get the feeling that this is where things take a turn for the worse for Marie Holmes and her millions of dollars? Marie Holmes was trying to do an honorable thing. After all, she loved her neighborhood and her church. It was the Pleasant Hill Missionary Baptist Church, and she told the pastor she was donating 10% of her winnings to the establishment. This calculated to be about $13 million. With that kind of cash flow, the church and community could do great things for everyone. Before hitting the lotto, Marie Holmes was a single mother with 4 children. She worked multiple jobs to support her family, but everything changed overnight, literally. Her new reality was that she would not have to work a day in her life ever again. Neither would her children if she invested the money wisely. However, she never had that much money before and didn't know how to budget it properly. That's common for most lottery winners. What happened next to Marie Holmes took everyone by surprise. You would think Kevin Matthews, the pastor of Pleasant Hill Missionary Baptist Church, would have been thrilled with such a hefty donation of $1.5 million out of the blue. However, like most people, he was greedy for more. Marie Holmes had already handed over $700,000 to her trusty pastor, but he turned around and sued her for $10 million. Why? In an unprecedented move, apparently she promised him more money. But didn't he help her out all the time for free? Remember when we said Marie wanted to give 10% of her winnings to the church? Well, according to the reports, the pastor was suing for the full 10%, despite her giving him hundreds of thousands of dollars. $10 million would be a tenth of her lump sum, not $1.5 million. Although there was no written agreement, Kevin Matthews argued that they had a verbal deal. Supposedly, the pastor had already made financial contributions based on the money he thought he would receive from Marie Holmes, and their alleged spoken contract. What did the local pastor have to say about his lawsuit? He said he brought it forth because of the emotional distress and mental stress they put me through. I had to start taking more medicine for anxiety and depression due to this situation. I didn't see this coming, and I think it was a third party that came along and told her not to do this. Marie was surprised about the allegations. Was he taking advantage of her? The community of Charlotte, North Carolina adored their local pastor. They thought he was a righteous man who truly cared about helping people. Marie Holmes was a God-fearing woman, a mother of 4, and an obviously generous woman. However, after the lottery drama started, the townspeople questioned Kevin Matthews' moral standing. The story even hit the national news, and people started voicing their opinions on social media. The pastor's lawsuit left a bad taste in most people's mouths, as you can imagine. Besides the lawsuit, Marie Holmes had other people in her ear. She appeared on the show Fix My Life after the lottery drama. The host said her new home was a bad choice because it was a plantation-style home. She called it a negative energy that was stored on the property because it was a former slave plantation. Ayanla thought the bad energies around the home were causing other problems in her life too. After the pending lawsuit, trouble seemed to follow Marie Holmes and her millions. One smart move she did was creating the Marie Holmes Foundation and investing $10 million into it. Unfortunately, she was involved with her youngest daughter's father, Lamar McDowell. He was a convicted drug dealer who was in and out of jail multiple times. He should have stopped his convict ways once she won the money, but instead she used it to bail him out over and over again. Lamar McDowell, whose nickname is Hot Sauce, has a child with Marie Holmes. He was first arrested for substance trafficking, and he was behind bars again for not following his trial conditions. The third arrest came after he was caught in a street race. Marie spent a whopping $21 million on helping him out, and that was just on bail money. She also treated her baby daddy to a brand new vehicle and expensive jewelry, including a $15,000 Rolex. Because of his criminal behavior, Lamar McDowell was sentenced to 7 years in prison. Marie Holmes also admitted that she'll wait for her boyfriend to get out of prison. They have one child together, but he also has children from his previous relationships. Marie might not be able to keep those children while he's doing time. She certainly hopes her family can be reunited as soon as possible. Even being a millionaire doesn't mean you have control over everything. An expert explained how in some cases winning the lottery can actually make life harder to enjoy. Eventually, the thrill of winning the lottery will itself wear off. Gradually, even the most positive events will cease to have impact. Thus, as lottery winners become accustomed to the additional pleasures made possible by their new wealth, these pleasures should be experienced as less intense and no longer contribute much to their general level of happiness. This was the case for Marie as well. Marie Holmes' fairy tale about winning the lottery is not over just yet. There's still more to come. Next, rumors started about who really purchased the ticket. No, not her mother Fontella. This time it was multiple extended family members claiming Marie Holmes actually lifted the ticket from her 90-year-old grandma and claimed it as her own. Several of her cousins allege this to be true, which is so important to sign your lottery tickets the moment you purchase them. Another cousin of Marie Holmes went to lengths to create a YouTube video and post it online. In the feed, she accused Marie of having an affair with a different cousin's husband. Well, supposedly the two-timing man left Marie alone and started fooling around with a different cousin. Marie then, according to the video, told her she'd buy her a car if she stopped seeing this man. It's hard to know which facts are true and which are not. Aside from the drama, Marie never lost sight of what was important to her: the children. She worked multiple jobs from McDonald's to Walmart to provide for her kids. Their names are Braden, Charisma, Andrea, and Ebony, whose ages range from 2 to 10 years old. During her appearance on Fix My Life, Marie was very open and honest about exposing her true reality, including her family's personal issues. Ayanla tried to explain. So many people believe that if they had a certain amount of money, they'd be able to live a certain way. Marie is a prime example that if you don't know who you are, if you don't have a strong sense of identity and well-being, all the money in the world is not going to fix how you see yourself and how you live. Like many other troubled families, the show revealed the complex relationship between Marie Holmes and her mother. Marie claimed that it was hard for her to be close to her because she treated Marie and her siblings poorly throughout their childhood. Nevertheless, she must have loved her mother and thought she was changed because Marie sent her children to live with Fontella in Seattle, Washington for a period of time after winning the lottery. After everything that happened, some people wanted to point fingers at Marie Holmes for gambling. She considered herself to be religious but played the lottery. According to a Christian doctrine, it's believed that for a Christian to have the remotest chance of winning the lottery, he has to initially buy a lottery ticket with the Lord's money. In all likelihood, he is in reality just throwing the Lord's money out the window. Therefore, in his participation, he has stolen missions, money, and sinned. Iyanla Vanzant is more than a talk show host and a TV personality. She's a relationship expert and wanted to help Marie Holmes during her life-changing experience. Unlike her pastor, Iyanla heard about Marie Holmes' story and offered her guidance. She wanted to help her emotionally during her transition into a different tax bracket. Iyanla believes she could help Marie Holmes gain maturity, dignity, and the self-respect she needed to make positive life choices. Every person who wins the lottery should consult with both a financial advisor and an attorney immediately. Although it does not sound very exciting, these are the two people who will truly help you along your exciting journey of wealth. Instead of going to the car dealership, talk to your advisor first. He or she will serve as a buffer between you and any stress that accumulates from the money.